Welcome to the second podcast about Medfringe. I'm here again with Ron today, the man behind it all, to explain if you're an act, how you can be part of it, and how we can make sure you get the most out of it. I'd like to talk, if I can, in this session, Ron, about the venues that are available, because I know loads of brand new venues have actually got on board for this first inaugural Medfringe.
That's right. Yeah. So when I first had the idea about Medfringe, I set myself a target that we'd have 5 venues and 20 events. We've blown that out of the water. We've got 10 venues already signed up, with another 3 that I'm in conversations with just over the last few days. So it's amazing. There are plenty of places to perform, and it's today is about making sure that we can choose the right venue for you. And we've got established venues such as Nucleus Arts, Fort Luton, Spotlights Theatre, the Glass Box up at Mid Kent College, all very established, all know their audience, are well placed in the community. We've also got places like Poco Loco, a fantastic music venue. And Three Sheets to the Wind is a conversation I was having yesterday. They're really eager to be part of it. But then we've got some brand new venues like the Bohemian that has only opened last month. So it's fantastic that they're jumping on board and are going to be part of Med Fringe.
You're trying to break down the barriers for the artists who are signing up. Because what I love about working with you, Ron, you've got that background in theatre, they're at Spotlights in Chatham. So you really understand the big questions that we're bouncing around performers' head as to whether they sign up yet.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Med Fringe is here to be accessible to everybody. It can be a trial run for something. We've deliberately made it that nice and easy cost wise. And we're also offering a lot of support to performers and venues who aren't sure what to do, where to go, or what steps to take. It's part of why we're doing this podcast, to show people we're open to those conversations, to answer some of those questions before you even need to ask them. And something that's really integral to getting your show right is making sure that the space you choose suits what you're putting in front of people.
So let's have a chat, if we can, Ron, about the different kind of venues that are available at Medfringe and which acts are going to fit in best in those spots.
Of course. So let's start with comedy. If you are an established name in comedy and you have a following and you know you'll be able to generate an audience, then you want to be looking at venues that are slightly bigger and venues that are not necessarily where people are going out for a drink. So we've got the Fort Luton is a fantastic venue, but it's out of town. So people don't go to Fort Luton to have a drink on a Friday night. However, they do make their way out there to go and see good comedy. They've got a fantastic following. So if you're a comedian who knows you've got a following or who knows you've got good PR and can get people to come out of town and come there, choose Fort Luton. That doesn't mean the other venues are off limits to you, but it's something to consider. If you like your audience to have had a few drinks and be walking the town on their Saturday night pub crawl, then we've got lots of venues along that Rochester intra section, starting with Poco Loco. Like I said already, that's a place where people go to have some tapas and some cocktails. Lovely cocktails down there. Been there quite recently to have a few of those, but you can start at Poco Loco. You've got the Bohemian. Um, it's not a loud, rowdy pub. It's a very sophisticated bar, the Bohemian. Um, so that's somewhere again though where people will be out having a cocktail and something nice to eat. Then as we go further down, we've got Three Sheets to the Wind, and then we're starting on the Rochester pub scene where people of a Friday, Saturday night bounce along the pubs. So you're more likely to get that walk-in audience ready to discover something new. We've also got the Queen Charlotte. So those are all of your pub scenes.
They're known for their live music performances. They're quite established in that area, bringing their energy and what
Yes.
they know to Medfringe.
Yes, they have so many bands and some big names turning up in Rochester. Speaking with Three Sheets to the Wind yesterday, their lineup over the next couple of weeks is brilliant. And for Med Fringe, they're looking at getting some more special things in. And there's your sort of central walkway of lots of people ready to see something but don't necessarily know about you in advance. If you've got something that's maybe music, something more obscure, but you can draw an audience, we've got some of the sports clubs, like we've got the Holcombe Sports Club. and we've got Rochester Rugby Club. Those are places that frequently hold events like fundraisers, quizzes, band nights, stand-up nights. They've got a captive audience, but you need to be something that will appeal to the masses as opposed to something niche. And they're really welcoming venues, wonderful spaces. One of the events we've got is Arts and Harmonies, which is a singing concert at the same time as a quiz. So it's a fantastic way of bringing two worlds together, which I think is brilliant that the Fringe can do that. It allows us that freedom. If you're looking for something more theatrical, we've got Spotlights Theatre, we've got the Glass Box up at Mid Kent. So if you're looking to do a theatrical play or some spoken word, poetry, those spaces are there for you. The Glass Box is obviously huge. It seats, I think, about 400. So, if you're not expecting to be able to fill that kind of space, it may not be for you. Spotlights is 110 seats. But we've also got a lovely space at Nucleus Arts, which is a workshop space, but that can be formatted to be theatrical, and that seats 40. So depending on where you're at, you can choose where on that spectrum you want to go.
So no
I've done
barriers
all
with venues. There will be one that's suitable for you, and no barrier with prices as well, because some of these events are even free.
That's it. Yeah, and a lot of the venues at the moment, there's there are multiple models that venues use. Some venues offer a straight hire, whereby you as a performer say, I want to hire your space to do my show, and you pay for it, and then you get the ticket money back. But there are a lot of venues at the moment who are saying, come and perform, we'll host you, you take the ticket money, the venue gets the bar money. So there are lots of models that can suit any budget at any stage in your career, in your path of taking your show on.
And all those venues are listed at medfringe.com.
So they're on spotlights.co.uk/medfringe, and we will put that right here.
So with that variety of venues, which is really coming through as you list them there, and you say there are 10 different and counting by the sound of it, you've had some sign up very recently. What's the first step for a performer to decide which one is right for them?
So there's a list on our website. We'll put the link at the bottom. It's spotlights.co.uk/medfringe. That is a list of all the venues that are part of our festival. It tells you a bit about them. They've all written a blurb that is put there on the website that says what their venue's modus operandi is, as it were, what's normally there. So go through that. Have a look at medfringe.com at the other shows that are similar to the show that you want to produce. Are there any on that list that you think my show would work really well immediately after that one or before that one or in the same space, and contact that venue? If you're not sure, drop me an email, hub@medfringe.com. Tell me about your show. Tell me about what you want to do with your show and how you're going to get your audience, and I'll put you in touch with a venue that I think suits. And all of our venues are so unique.
We really do want to hold an act's hand and say, do you know what? You can do this. We're going to make it easy for you. And as you say, Ron, very kindly of you, if you do have any questions, send them to Ron, ask them, and Ron will hold your hand and help you.
Absolutely. I might not hold your hand all the way, but I will put you in touch with somebody who knows the answers to what you're asking. I'm not an expert at everything. I know a little bit about lots of things. I know a lot about Medfringe, so we can put you in touch with the right people who can support your show for what you want to achieve.
I think you're putting yourself down there, Ron. I think you absolutely are the man in charge of Medfringe, and you really know the venues, you know the acts. You know, you have a history of working at two of the biggest fringe festivals in the UK, Brighton and, of course, Edinburgh, which when people mention Fringe Festival, that's the one I think is top of people's minds.
That's right.
Don't have
It's the
that,
world's largest arts festival.
which is amazing, incredible. You have a history working there. So you know a lot about fringe festivals, and you're bringing it all to the inaugural Med Fringe this year, which is exciting for us in Kent. I do want to ask, we're joking about venues coming on board very recently. As you say, you were checking out a meeting one yesterday. Is there a
Mm.
cut-off point for acts where, that's the line in the sand?
No, we are printing a program. There is obviously a cut-off to be able to make it into the print because we need the print out the sooner the better. So there's no real cut-off. You could come to me the day before the festival starts and say, I've got this show, I want to put it on at the end of the festival, provided you've got a plan of how you can make that work and how you can make it fit in with the festival. we're definitely open to it. And we've also got, I'm sure I spoke about it on the last podcast, but we've got these showcases where if you're not ready for your show to do a whole hour this time round, but you've got 10 minutes, contact us. We'll put you in touch with G, who's running those showcases, and he'll find you a slot. We've got some really interesting acts contacting us about those slots as well. So there'll be real variety there, which I think is brilliant.
I know there's even some Shakespeare that you've got, so it really is a great variety. There's music performances, theatrical performances, which you're very closely involved with. Of course, you are. A lot of comedy. So a little bit of something for everybody at Medfringe. Lots of tickets available at the website medfringe.com, or to tell you where to start. Some of those even free.
Absolutely. So we've got shows to match any budget. There are some shows that are free, shows that are pay what you want, shows that are a donation. So it's really making it accessible to any wallet right now, because we all know that money's tight. We've also got such a diverse range of things. I know that we're in conversation with some Morris dancers at the moment about how they want to be part of the festival, and I think that's fantastic because it's so ingrained in the culture of Medway. You only have to walk down to the Sweeps Festival, so it's amazing that they can be part of Medfringe too. But yeah, like you say, there's Shakespeare, there's musicals, we've got some hard-hitting drama that is brand new writing. We've got poetry and poetry workshops. We've got comedy galore. Comedy is our biggest section of Med Fringe, and that's normal with fringe festivals. It's a place where all those people that in 5 years' time you'll see on the Live at the Apollo, it's where they all start. It's the place to plant the seeds that grow and flourish.
So if you're an act and you'd like to be part of Medfringe, do check out medfringe.com. All the information and more for you to find is right there, very accessible. Have a chat with Ron, send him an email if you need to. And the advice is really be part of it. If you're not ready for this year, come along as an audience member and maybe get yourself ready for Medfringe 2027.
It is a great way to scope out a venue. If you're thinking about performing at Med Fringe but not sure how that looks, come and see a couple of shows. See some shows that are like yours, see some shows that are completely different. See a variety of spaces and understand what their vibe is. And if that suits your vibe, bring your show next year.
I've already reserved my seat in the Bohemian for lots of performances because you get a nice view of all Rochester from that position. And it's just perfect to sit and enjoy a cocktail, enjoy the acts, have a laugh, and be part of Medfringe.
Absolutely. It's lovely down there.